Is bigger always better? Can a new chip and camera make you ditch last year's flagship? And what's this about a magic button? Stick around as we uncover the real differences between the iPhone 16 Pro Max and its predecessor. Are they mega or just meh? Before we dive in, let's address the elephant in the room. Yes, the iPhone 16 Pro Max is here and it's causing quite a stir. But is it a game changer or just a slight improvement? That's what we're here to find out. We'll be comparing these two devices across several key areas so you can decide if it's time to upgrade or if your trusty iPhone 15 Pro Max still has what it takes. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty. Let's kick things off with the most noticeable change, the size. Apple's gone big this time, folks. The iPhone 16 Pro Max sports a 6.9-inch display, a significant bump up from the 15 Pro Max's 6.7 inches. But here's the kicker. Apple didn't just make the screen bigger, they've also slimmed down those bezels to make it happen. Now, you might be thinking, great, another phone that won't fit in my pocket. But hold on, the size difference isn't as drastic as you might think. The 16 Pro Max features 163 millimeters in height and 77.6 millimeters in width, compared to the 15 Pro Max's 159.9 millimeters and 76.7 millimeters. That's a difference you can feel, but it's not like carrying a tablet in your pocket. Both phones still rock that sleek titanium frame we fell in love with last year, but the 16 Pro Max ups the ante with an improved ceramic shield that's supposedly twice as tough. Butterfinger? This might be the phone for you. Oh, let's not forget about that new camera control button on the 16 Pro Max. It's like having a mini DSLR control right on your phone. More on that later, but trust us, it's pretty cool. Color-wise, we've got some changes too. Say goodbye to that blue titanium on the 15 Pro Max and hello to a new desert option on the 16 Pro Max. The other colors? They're similar, but with subtle tweaks. The black is darker, the white is brighter, and the natural gray? Well, it's just a tad more natural, if you can believe it. All right, let's talk screens. As we mentioned, the iPhone 16 Pro Max comes with a whopping 6.9-inch display. But size isn't everything, right? Well, in this case, it kind of is. Those ultra-thin bezels on the 16 Pro Max make the screen feel even more immersive. It's like the display's trying to escape the phone, in a good way. Both phones still use that gorgeous Liquid Retina XDR OLED panel, so you're getting those deep blacks and vibrant colors we've come to expect from Apple. The 120Hz ProMotion refresh rate? Yep, still there on both models, keeping things buttery smooth. But here's a neat little upgrade on the 16 Pro Max. The minimum brightness has been improved to just 1 nit. For those late-night scrolling sessions, your eyes will thank you. Peak brightness remains the same at a respectable 2000 nits on both models, so whether you're out in the blazing sun or binge watching in bed, these screens have got you covered. Now let's get under the hood and talk about performance. The iPhone 16 Pro Max comes packing the new A18 Pro chip, while the 15 Pro Max rocks the A17 Pro. Both are built on a 3nm process, but the A18 Pro takes things up a notch. The A18 Pro features dual performance cores and quad efficiency cores, plus a beefed-up hexa-core GPU. What does this mean in English? Basically, it's faster and more efficient than its predecessor. Whether you're editing 4K videos or playing graphics-intensive games, the 16 Pro Max has got some serious muscle. But here's something cool. Apple has also improved the thermal management in the 16 Pro Max. That means less chance of overheating during those intense gaming sessions or when you're pushing the phone to its limits. Connectivity-wise, the 16 Pro Max supports Wi-Fi 7, which is theoretically 4 times faster than the Wi-Fi 6E on the 15 Pro Max. It also comes with a new 5G modem, the Qualcomm Snapdragon X75, which Apple claims uses 20% less energy. So you're getting faster speeds and better battery life. Win-win! All right, photography enthusiasts, this section's for you. Both phones come with impressive camera setups, but the 16 Pro Max brings some exciting upgrades to the table. The headline feature? A new 48-megapixel ultra-wide camera on the 16 Pro Max. This is a significant upgrade from the 12-megapixel ultra-wide on the 15 Pro Max. What does this mean for your photos? More detail, better low-light performance, and the ability to crop into your ultra-wide shots without losing quality. The main and telephoto cameras remain similar on both models, with the 48-megapixel main shooter and that impressive 5x optical zoom telephoto lens we saw introduced on the 15 Pro Max. But here's where things get really interesting: video recording. The iPhone 16 Pro Max can now shoot 4K video at a smooth 120 frames per second. That's some serious slow-mo potential, folks, and it's all available with Dolby Vision HDR. Your home movies are about to look like Hollywood productions. Now, let's talk about that new camera control button on the 16 Pro Max. This little addition is a game changer for mobile photography. It's a capacitive button that lets you quickly open the camera, start recording, adjust exposure, change focal depth, or switch between photographic styles. It's like having a pro camera control right on your phone. For serious shutter bugs, this feature alone might be worth the upgrade. We all want our phones to last longer, right? Well, good news, the iPhone 16 Pro Max comes with a slightly larger battery. While Apple doesn't give us exact numbers, they do provide some pretty impressive estimates. The 16 Pro Max claims 33 hours of video playback, 29 hours of stream video playback, and a whopping 105 hours of audio playback. Compare that to the 15 Pro Max's 29 hours, 25 hours, and 95 hours respectively. We're looking at a nice little boost in battery life. But here's where things get interesting: charging speeds. The 16 Pro Max supports 25-watt MagSafe wireless charging. That's a significant jump from the 15-watt on the 15 Pro Max. If you're always on the go and need quick top-ups, this could be a game changer. Both phones still support wired charging at the same speeds, and sorry folks, there's still no charger in the box. Some things never change. Now let's talk software. The iPhone 16 Pro Max comes with iOS 18 out of the box, while the 15 Pro Max will be upgradable to it. But here's the thing: the 16 Pro Max is designed to take full advantage of the new AI features in iOS 18. Apple is calling this Apple Intelligence, and it's set to change how we interact with our iPhones. We're talking about a seriously upgraded Siri that can handle complex multi-step tasks. Want to find a specific photo and share it? Just ask Siri. The Messages app gets a boost too, with AI-generated quick replies and even emoji creation. And for all you photo editors out there, the Photos app now includes AI-powered object removal. Accidentally photobomb someone's perfect shot? No problem. Just zap yourself out of there. While these features will be available on both phones, the A18 Pro chip in the 16 Pro Max is specifically designed to handle these AI tasks more efficiently. So if you're planning to dive deep into these new features, the 16 Pro Max might give you a smoother experience. Now let's talk about some of the smaller changes that might not make headlines, but could make a big difference in day-to-day use. First up, customization. iOS 18 on both phones will allow for more flexible icon placement and a multi-page control center. But the 16 Pro Max, with its larger screen, gives you more real estate to play with. Accessibility gets a boost too, with new features like vocal shortcuts and eye tracking. These might seem small, but for users who rely on these features, they can be life-changing. The 16 Pro Max also supports the new Qi2 wireless charging standard. Not a huge deal right now, but as more accessories start supporting this standard, you'll have more options for wireless charging. All right, let's talk money. The iPhone 16 Pro Max starts at $1199 for the 256GB version, the same price point as the 15 Pro Max when it launched. So, no price hike this year, which is always good news. But is it worth upgrading if you already have the 15 Pro Max? Well, that depends on what you value. If you're a photography or videography enthusiast, the camera upgrades and that new camera control button might justify the cost. If you're excited about the AI features and want the best performance, the 16 Pro Max has the edge. On the other hand, if you're happy with your 15 Pro Max and don't need the latest and greatest, it's still an incredibly capable phone that'll serve you well for years to come. Well, that's all for today. What do you think? Are you Team 16 Pro Max or sticking with the 15 Pro Max? Let us know in the comments below. And if you found this comparison helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.